Good day, viewers, and welcome to the English News Bulletin on the Night Essential Television channel. The Bureau has issued conclusion number 174, calling for the streamlined and efficient two-level administrative system, ensuring smooth operations without delays or oversight. According to the conclusion number 174, the Politburo and the party secretariats have instructed the provincial and municipal party committees under the central government to focus intensively on the 6 key tasks. They include thoroughly understanding the functions, responsibilities, and authorities of each level of the government and agency, as well as the accountability of their leaders, to ensure seamless and effective operations. Local authorities must promptly and consistently implement delegated tasks from the central government and carry out decentralization between the provincial and the grassroots levels. On duties under the jurisdiction of provincial and communal levels must be handled without delays or omissions, with overall reachings of better serving citizens and businesses. Localities are also required to quickly review and complete the assignment and arrangement of the staff, public officials, and employees at both provincial and communal levels. They must reassess job positions and submit staffing proposals for the 2026 to 2031 period. In addition, oversight should be strengthened to promptly address challenges faced by communal governments as they transition to the new administrative structure. The General Statistics Office, under the Ministry of Finance, have released socio-economic data for the first half of 2025. Vietnam's GDP in the second quarter is estimated to have grown by 7.96% year-on-year, the second highest increase in the 2020 to 2025 period. In the first half of 2025, Vietnam's GDP grew by 7.52%, the highest first half growth rate recorded between 2011 and 2025. The industrial, construction, and service sectors remain key pillars of the economy. Industry and construction rose by 8.33%, contributing 42.2% to the GDP, while services expanded by 8.14%, contributing 52.21%. During the same period, Vietnam recorded a trade surplus of approximately 7.63 billion USD, slightly lower than the same period last year. Total trade turnover reached 432 billion USD, with both imports and exports increasing by 14.4% to 17.9%. Retail sales of goods and consumer services grew by 9.3% year-on-year. Prices of essential goods and services saw notable fluctuation in the first half, influenced by both domestic and global markets. The average consumer price index (CPI) rose by 3.27% compared to the same period last year, mainly due to rising costs of construction materials, fuel, and healthcare services, but still remain within the government's control threshold. Võ Tấn Đức, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee and Chairman of the Đồng Nai People's Committee, chaired an online meeting with 95 communes and wards across the province. The meeting reviewed the socio-economic situation in the first half of the year and set out priorities for the rest of 2025, with a view toward the 2026 to 2030 period. The report shows that Đồng Nai's GDP in the first half of 2025 reached 132.29 trillion VND, up 8.21% year-on-year. State budget revenue total 36.6 trillion VND, meeting 61% of the year's target. FDI inflows hit 1,349 billion USD, a 46% increase compared to 2024. Emphasizing the goal of achieving at least 11.52% GRDP growth in the second half to surpass 10% for the full year, Chairman Võ Tấn Đức urged departments and localities to urgently develop detailed monthly and quarterly growth plans to submitted by July 15. The province will establish a task force to review the operations of the two-tier government system led by the Department of Home Affairs. The Department of Finance will assess public officers and access to improve efficiency. Other key directives include adjusting revenue plans, accelerating planned auctions and public investment disbursements, cutting administrative processing times by 30 to 50% to improve competitiveness, removing legal barriers for stalled projects, tightening land management and planning, preventing illegal construction, and drafting a housing plan for government staff. The Prime Minister had instructed the State Bank of Vietnam to phase out administrative tools in credit growth management and instead adopt a market-based approach. Since 2011, the State Bank of Vietnam has used a credit growth cap policy, assigning annual credit growth ceilings to individual commercial banks. Each bank is giving a different growth rate. Some may receive limits of 15 to 20%, others 10% or lower. Balance overall to meet the national target. This year, to meet the economy's capital needs, the State Bank set a credit growth target of around 16%, with adjustments depending on economic developments. Individual bank quotas are allocated at the beginning of the year. Originally, these credit limit tools play a key role in curbing runaway inflation, especially during 2007 to 2011 when average annual credit growth exceeded 33%. This spike pushed inflation past 19% by 2011. On July 5th, Iranian state television aired footage showing Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei attending a religious event in Tehran. This marks his first public appearance in weeks, following extended conflicts with Israel. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was greeted with cheers at his spear at the mosque during a religious ceremony marking the death of Imam Hussein, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. State television reported that the footage was filmed at the Imam Khamenei's mosque in the central Tehran. The 86-year-old leader, who had ruled since 1989, delivered a re-recorded speech last week but had not made a public appearance since Israel launched a series of surprise airstrikes on Iran on July 13. His last public appearance before that was 2 days earlier during a meeting with the members of parliament. Israel's bombing campaign came after decades of covert conflict between the two countries and aimed to stop Iran from developing nuclear weapons, something Tehran continues to deny. You have just watched the English News Bulletin on Dom Nai Province Essential Television Channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you next time.